Um, all right, this is a testimony, and I'm going to continue to make testimonies. I think this is really what my purpose is right now. I'm seeing this as something more special, and it's also a way to vent, and not even vent, but just kind of lay it out. Because I noticed the more I talk, the more I'm like, it just they manipulate me the way they want to. They can create all kind of disorienting manipulations and thoughts, but me continuously putting things in perspective is what helps me deal with the things. Right now, you probably hear noise campaign. Right, this is when they do the most noise campaign. Is when I'm by the door and they try to do this noise campaign. So you hear that they're gonna talk about either they're gonna set me up or whatever. But this is what I do. I'd rather sit by the door and speak so they can hear me properly. You know how many times they told me I'm gonna be raped? If I ask them, "Are you gonna be raped?" They don't know. And I don't care to those things. They only trash like that live their life. I wish they continue to live this life like that as they try to force me to think of other things and try to disorient me. They're not mean, they're trash. These people sold their soul to pedophiles, right? As I said that, they try to counter reality, right? Every time I bring up something that they don't want to hear, they bring up a torture that I'm experiencing. Oh, I'm going to experience. Oh, you're going to get knocked out. Stop talking about the fact that there's a bunch of pedophiles in this agency. Stop it. Knocked out. We're mean. They're going to rape you. And it's not only these bottom feeders as that are like just like very vulnerable looking people. There's even some big, strong looking guys, and they want to be all like wow. And then I'm looking at it. You're not scared of me. You're scared of knowing that I know that you guys are a bunch of pedophiles. They're trying to make me right now to disorient me, try to go into their manipulations. It's been exposed in regard to who's the issue of pedophilia in these agencies. It's been exposed. Hold on. Let me see somebody. It's been exposed in regard to the issue with pedophilia. As I'm saying, that's like also so just because there's a bunch of pedophiles in this agency doesn't mean that you're not. No, it means that there's a tactic, and it makes sense that you guys not only have this issue with pedophiles in these agencies that are in charge of some of the most sophisticated weapons. We're talking about DARPA. Right? They caught this program manager downloading child porn on his computer at DARPA. Program managers. This is a small agency when it comes to numbers. They're the people really, in this research and development part of the military. They're the one in charge. Is it a quinky ding? I don't think so. I think these agencies are okay hiring pedophiles because in this program, there's a lot of pedophilia type of torture. Almost all target individuals are forced to think in these pedophilia ways. There's a reason why they like to hire childlike individuals. Can create easy to manipulate, delusional as it ever, can block out reality like nothing. You know what they do to block out? Oh, he's going to rape you. Okay. Guess what? You guys do the pedophilia type of torture, and this is what I'm experiencing. What I'm experiencing now, as I'm suffocating, try to speak like a 7-year autistic kid that they tortured. Almost all target individuals, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the last one to talk about how pedophilia centric these people are. They are trying to make me think in different ways to block out reality. To say, okay, or maybe we have problem with pedophilia, but we investigate you. You just quit. This is you. It's just because we exit. So you tell me people who are renowned to manipulate people in these pedophilia ways have problem with pedophilia in this agency's intelligence community are investigating me, and based on this investigation that does not include any manipulation of thoughts, stimulations. You understand? And so when I say these things, right, then they try to make you nervous, like, oh, how you being sassy? Because when they say sassy, it's like the black girl thing. They do this whole thing where they make me think of me as a kid and try to add this stimulation and whatever, and make me imagine a black sassy little girl, and they do the stimulations, and they want me to subscribe to it. That's why you hear this noise campaign, and they tell me you get raped because they want me to vaccine and accept this BS. But if I play this BuzzFeed article about why there's so many pedophiles in this agency, The hallways are emptied, disappear. Everybody go whoop, because there's a reality and there's a thing they create together. There's these things they put together and there's reality. They completely disappear from the hallways. They completely disappear because when you hear a CIA agent doing things to a 2 year and 6 year old, and me, they try to make me think, oh no, but you felt like this when you remember that black girl one day, remember that feeling you get? They try to create this stimulations, all kind of manufacture manipulations of my memories and stimulation of me when I'm a child. When you hear the CIA agent got fired for doing something to a 2 year old, 6 year old, why there's a bunch of pedophiles and these agencies that only child porn in these government devices, but me, they're like, oh, sassy, sassy black girl, black, which I'm gonna make another black girl part four. I am here to put things back in perspective. They're using warnings of torture, of beatings, of all these things to intimidate me into accepting these nonsensicals, these illogicals, these manipulations, this put together, and they want me to ignore reality. I know all this bad thing probably will most likely happen to me, especially because I speak more about it. They want to compensate for the obvious things that I know that they do. When they say black girl, and I'm like, oh, let me make a video about black girl. Well, listen to what they try to do. I'm going to be, oh, sass. I think I made something about it, but let me just do a black girl part four because I know what reality, what they're trying to play. I'm going to put things in perspective and they're going to hate it because I'm putting things that they want me to take it as if it makes sense, as if I should accept this. But for them, they have to accept it because they sold the soul to pedophiles, and now they have to, you got to make it worth it. You know, I was, the very little they need to feel special, the very little they need to feel like they are validated. It's just incredible, incredible. As you can hear me talk, sometimes I have issues saying certain words. Right? It's aware. You can obviously see that, and it's funny. Somebody says some word, and in advance it's like, it's kind of hard word to say, and I had an issue saying that word. And you see, that's proof. We know you. Out of all the things, this is the easiest thing to figure that out. But obviously, this technology is beyond that. They can do things much, much more than that. They can tell me like what like so this person said something else. I'm sure I'm going to experience that thing later on. But of course, they know the target individual because the target is then manipulated in all the different ways to make them accept them these pedophile things. You don't change, you don't manipulate people that you don't know. You have step one to know that person, step two, know everything about that person, and then step two, manipulate that person. They are trying to make me be somebody else, but to make me somebody else, they have to know me. This is definitely not the biggest thing to like. This is like the easiest thing to figure out, but they are beyond that, and they try to change you into something else. And I know that, and I don't take myself seriously. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I couldn't say that word properly. Like, I know how to take things in the right perspective. I have to. This moment has made me understand things in ways I don't think I would have that fast. You got to be sure of who you are because they're trying to change you. Everybody around you, they're gonna want you to make you accept these things based on the most nothingness, and that's also because your brain is so hacked. It's like, oh, because we know that you're gonna do that. You see, this is you, and the isolation doesn't help. So I put things together. Now, going back to this video, which is really about intimidation using warnings of torture. I know bad things are gonna happen to me, but the people want me to see them as something else. They want me to see them as if they're not involved in this program that torture women and children. They want me to see them that they're not working on the agencies with issues with pedophilia. They want to see them as if they don't do the pedophilia type of torture. They want me to see them as a group of women that are avenging for, and I know they torture children and women. A lot of women. A lot of women. A lot of women. As I'm saying that they're going to do some nasty things. That is what they do. And they've been renowned to do this perfect type of torture. So my last words are gonna be saying these things over and over and over until I can say anything else. But they're using this intimidating of how I'm gonna get raped, tortured, knocked out, castrated, suffocate, hung, think, whatever, every day to make me accept these things. But people who are the biggest cowards on earth, so coward they torture children, bottom feeders that claim that they're living lavishly while trying to make somebody homeless. Do I not know this homeless women that had houses and refused to live in the house because these neighbors are torturing them, quote unquote neighbors? I know that. I'd rather starve myself to death than having to live their life because I will starve myself living their life. I had there was time when I was able to make well, a lot of money and was not eating healthy. I was almost malnourished because I was not happy. This is so I'd rather die slow, suffocate, be that one person that everybody around wants to torture and do whatever because he continuously bring reality that they want to block out, what they say knocked out because I'm saying there's a bunch of pedophiles in these agencies. You're gonna get raped because I'm gonna say you guys torture children. You're gonna get castrated because I said something about what you guys do to women's genitals. Or they say they make me think of this disturbing manipulations of some sort of some things they put together and say castrate is like no, I know what you guys actually do, and I know this is you guys fabricating, putting things together. They're using these warnings. I'm going to call them warnings because I won't. This can definitely happen as a way to get you to accept these things and to block our reality that they sold this soul to pedophiles. And I'm the guy who continuously say that every day. I'm that mirror that they hate to look at. So I will never let them live their fantasy. And they like to say, "Oh, you're a preacher." I'm saying the things that you hate saying. I'm saying the things that you hate hearing. And they try to minimize it. Oh, you're a preacher. I'm just saying the most basic things ever. She's like, oh my gosh. Oh, hallelujah. Like, no. I'm saying things that you don't want to hear. This is why is this person making noise campaign? Let me preach then for real. God, you truly exist. You truly are here. Because I could be living this low likeness. I could be live like this trash. That could use their children. That could use anybody to do whatever they do, these nasty things. But thanks to your glory, I'm not. This is preaching. Now, what you don't want to hear is you guys are a bunch of bottom feeders that were for these agencies that have been torturing women and children using this technology that can override your consciousness in every disturbing ways. And they use these child people, these contractors that's supposed to make you subscribe to it. They have been torturing children and women in a sexual way and other ways. They do this thing called noise campaign, which is supposed to disorientate the target individual and to make them accept these things. This has been ongoing for decades. It's a human research experience where they are manipulating people using this weaponry that is military grade. These people are civilians but contracted by the government. And they're supposed to make you accept this false persona they've created. They think because the whole ecosystem is going to try to intimidate you into accepting these things, you're going to subscribe to it. And I'm not letting them do that. As I said that with my tongue, they did some nasty things to disturb me. This is not preaching. This is the things that you don't want to hear. You see the difference? So to all my target individual, do not be intimidated by the noise campaign, by the warnings of whatever torture you're going to experience. Do not let them go into their black girls. For me, it's the pedophilia things, sassy, whatever. No, it's like, no, I know what you guys do. It's the pedophile type of torture. That's what is a bunch of pedophiles in these agencies. They groom you trash to do these things to people. And I'd rather hurt, screaming in pain, than do what you do. I'm just thankful I was able to say these things before this happened.